Pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the New England Patriots. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Taking it about the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. First down, Mayfield. Flush to his, and a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
Back near his goal line. Here's Mayfield. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a tough turnover there, as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines, as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Harris. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Damian Harris with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Patriots on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0.
Patriots 7, Texans nothing. Jake Bailey to kick off for the Patriots.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential play?
And it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched the playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football, because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Now they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Throwing Jones. That's swung out wide to Harris. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Now Jones. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Mayfield. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 36. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to start the drive. Jones throwing the out route incomplete. That's Harris. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Jones throwing on 1st down.
No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on second down. Jones eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Jones. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Texans are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Check safety, check safety.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Throwing, Mayfield. Forced out to his left. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. From the gun, Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mayfield now. He finds Watson. It's caught. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mayfield with it once more. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum, because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. I know it appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Jones. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Thus far, they've been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Jones. Pressure comes, and down he goes. DeForest Buckner make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Now Mayfield. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw taken in by Slayton. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
Mike, 45. I'm here all day.
And again, it's Mayfield. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown. Darius Slayton with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Texans draw a bit closer. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal.
Texans 7.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for New England.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. From the gun, Jones. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 1. Jones keeping it on the sneak. And I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. Mayfield off the play fake. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Flushed out right. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mayfield now from the 50. Complete to Watson, the tight end. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
These two clubs running through their final halftime adjustments. It's just about time to get back at it. And for the call of the second half, we go back out to Houston, H-Town, and Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Jones. He gets it complete to Harris. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at about the 14. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this 2nd half.
Buying time to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Play clock about to expire. We get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's 2nd and 10. Play fake. Mayfield. Rolling to his right. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 36 yards.
Alert! You got time right there. Check. Fresno. Alert, flare.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd down and 3.
Let's go.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Throwing left side, it's complete. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Patriots 13.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now here's another carry for Harris. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I have to think a major focus at the halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Jones now from the gun on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Caught by the tight end Watson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Oh, big hole left side. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 45 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Mayfield firing quickly. It's complete. Touchdown, Texans! A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
passing games. Rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. On the give, this is Harris. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. New England on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run again with Harris. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. 66 yards on the ground for him so far.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Working with a 2nd and 3. They'll run. Here's Harris. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
New England on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. This is Harris. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? The advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, with about 95% chance of winning.
Oh, yeah, I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
And knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
Mayfield on first down. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mayfield flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Touchdown, Patriots! Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that one covering an even 63 yards in the air. So now a big spot for the Pats as they'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal.
Jake Bailey to kick off for the Patriots.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, He's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
On third down, Mayfield. He finds his man, complete. It's Ramos. Touchdown! A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Texans use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead. Sly on for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Next to score, Texans 31, Patriots.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Now Jones on 1st and 10, escaping the play, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jones will get this out to Barkley, complete, and way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Jones. He finds his man, complete. That's Pope. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on 1st down. To throw is Jones. He'll buy some time right. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Eluding the pressure right. And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Houston, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for the Patriots,